Liam tightened his tie in the reflection of the car window, staring at the faint outline of himself. 34 years old, a career in finance, a seemingly perfect life. And yet he felt hollow. He glanced at his phone, where his husband Daniel's text from the morning still sat unanswered. Working late. Don't wait up. The silence at home had grown louder over the years. Daniel's once affectionate gestures were now rote. His laughter reserved for co-workers and clients. Liam felt like an afterthought. It wasn't that Daniel didn't care. It was that he seemed to have stopped noticing. On a whim, Liam had signed up for a gym membership. He needed something, anything, to disrupt the monotony. He hadn't stepped into a gym since college, but the idea of doing something physical, something for himself, felt strangely liberating. The gym smelled of rubber mats and faintly of disinfectant. The sound of weights clanging and treadmills humming filled the air. Liam felt out of place in his crisp button-up and slacks. He scanned the room awkwardly, unsure where to start, when a voice broke through his hesitation. First day. Liam turned to see a man approaching, his hand extended. He was tall, with a lean, athletic build, and an easy confidence that softened the sharp angles of his face. His warm hazel eyes held a glint of humor. "Yeah," Liam replied, shaking his hand. "Guess it's obvious." "I'm Ethan, one of the trainers here," the man said. "Want a quick tour?" Liam nodded, grateful for the guidance. Ethan led him around, explaining the machines and areas with a mixture of professionalism and charm. His tone was light, but there was a sincerity in the way he spoke that made Liam feel seen, even in this crowded, unfamiliar space. "Why now?" Ethan asked as they stopped near the weight racks. "Most people don't just wander into a gym one day without a reason." Liam hesitated. The real answer felt too personal to share with a stranger, but Ethan's gaze was disarming. "I guess I just needed a change," he admitted. "Life's been routine." Ethan nodded as though he understood. "Well, change starts with showing up, and you've done that. Let's set up your first session." The following morning, Liam found himself at the gym again, this time in a hastily bought workout shirt and shorts. Ethan greeted him with a grin. "Ready?" Ethan asked. "Define ready," Liam joked, feeling his nerves melt under Ethan's enthusiasm. The session was challenging but oddly exhilarating. Ethan's encouragement felt genuine, not the overzealous cheerleading Liam had expected. When Liam struggled, Ethan was patient. When he succeeded, Ethan's praise felt earned. By the end, Liam's muscles ached, but his spirit felt lighter. As he gathered his things, Ethan clapped him on the shoulder. "You did great today, Liam. Same time tomorrow." Liam smiled, a spark of something unfamiliar igniting within him. "Yeah, same time." As he left the gym, the weight in his chest felt just a little lighter, though he couldn't tell if it was from the workout or Ethan's presence. Either way, Liam was already looking forward to tomorrow. Liam's gym sessions with Ethan became a rhythm he couldn't ignore. Each morning, he'd walk into the building carrying more than just his gym bag. Frustrations from home, questions about himself, and the quiet ache of feeling unseen. But in Ethan's presence, those burdens lightened, if only temporarily. "Push yourself today," Ethan said one morning, adjusting the weight on the barbell in front of Liam. "You're stronger than you think." It wasn't just the words but the way Ethan said them, direct, earnest. Liam felt those words go deeper than muscle. Every interaction with Ethan felt intentional, like he was truly present, something Liam hadn't felt in years. Their conversations shifted as the weeks passed. What began as simple encouragement during workouts evolved into candid exchanges. Ethan spoke of his passion for training and how it gave him a sense of purpose. Liam found himself sharing pieces of his life, too, bits he hadn't spoken aloud in years. "Daniel and I have been together for 10 years, Liam confessed one morning as they stretched on the mats. "But sometimes it feels like we're just coexisting." Ethan paused, his expression softening. "That sounds hard. Do you talk to him about it?" Liam sighed. "Try. He's always so busy, so focused. I don't think he even realizes how much we've drifted." Ethan didn't offer advice or solutions, just a quiet nod of understanding. It was that empathy, unspoken yet palpable, that made Liam's heart ache in a way he hadn't anticipated. At home, the gulf between Liam and Daniel felt wider with each passing day. Dinner was a perfunctory affair, eaten in silence as Daniel scrolled through work emails. Liam tried to bring up the idea of taking a weekend trip together, but Daniel barely looked up. "Maybe next month," Daniel said, his voice distant. The emptiness gnawed at Liam as he lay awake that night. Memories of Ethan's laughter and the warmth in his eyes surfaced, unbidden. He felt guilty for thinking of another man, but he couldn't deny the growing connection between them. The next day, Ethan noticed Liam's distraction during their session. "You okay?" he asked, concern etched in his face. Liam hesitated, then nodded. "Just a lot on my mind." Ethan didn't press, but his silence was comforting. After their session, as they lingered by the water fountain, Ethan spoke. "You deserve to be happy, Liam," he said quietly. "Sometimes it's okay to put yourself first." Liam's breath caught. The words weren't overtly personal, but they felt intimate, like Ethan had seen past his defenses. As Liam walked out of the gym that day, his thoughts were a tangled web of longing and guilt. Ethan had become more than just a trainer. He was a confidant, a mirror reflecting the cracks in Liam's carefully constructed life. For the first time in years, Liam wasn't sure if he wanted to patch those cracks, or let them break open entirely. The air between Liam and Ethan had shifted. It wasn't just the casual touches during a workout or the way Ethan's gaze lingered a moment too long. It was the unspoken understanding that something was building, fragile but undeniable. One evening after their session, Ethan lingered as Liam packed his bag. The gym was nearly empty, the hum of the air conditioning filling the silence. Ethan leaned against the wall, his expression uncharacteristically hesitant. "Liam," he began, his voice low, "I know I'm just your trainer, but care about you more than I should." Liam froze, the words hanging heavy in the air. He had felt it too, this magnetic pull toward Ethan, but hearing it aloud made it real. He turned to face Ethan, his heart pounding. "I don't know what to say," Liam admitted. "You've been incredible. But I'm married." Ethan nodded, his jaw tightening. "No. And I hate that I'm saying this, but I had to. I couldn't keep pretending it's nothing." The vulnerability in Ethan's voice shattered Liam's resolve. Before he could stop himself, he stepped closer, and their lips met, tentative, electric, and filled with all the unspoken emotions they had been holding back. When they broke apart, reality crashed down on Liam. "This can't happen," he said, his voice trembling. "I can't do this to Daniel." Ethan stepped back, pain flickering across his face. "I understand," he said, his voice steady despite the hurt. "But you need to figure out what you really want, Liam. Not for me. For yourself." The drive home was a blur. Guilt clawed at Liam, but so did a deep yearning he hadn't felt in years. At home, Daniel was on a conference call, his back to Liam as he worked late into the night. Liam stood in the doorway, watching his husband. He tried to summon the love they once shared, the partnership they had built. But all he could feel was the emptiness that had grown between them. The next morning, Liam woke early, unable to sleep. He sat across from Daniel at the breakfast table, the silence oppressive. "Daniel," Liam said finally, his voice cracking. "We need to talk." Daniel looked up, startled. What's wrong? Liam hesitated, searching for the right words. I feel like we've lost each other. I don't know if we can find our way back. Daniel's face fell, and for the first time in years, he looked vulnerable. I didn't realize. I thought we were okay. We're not, Liam said gently. And it's not just you. I've been distant too. But I don't think I can keep living like this. The conversation stretched into hours, filled with tears and admissions. By the end, Liam knew their story was over. That evening he stood outside the gym, heart racing. Ethan was there, waiting, his eyes searching Liam's face. Without a word, Liam stepped closer. This time there was no hesitation. The gym was quieter than usual, the faint hum of the treadmill the only sound as Liam walked in. His heart was heavy, but there was a strange clarity in the weight he carried. The conversation with Daniel still echoed in his mind. Raw, painful, but ultimately necessary. Ethan was adjusting weights on a machine when he spotted Liam. His face lit up, but the cautiousness in his eyes betrayed his uncertainty. Liam approached, his steps measured, his chest tight with anticipation. I wasn't sure if you'd come back, Ethan said. His voice tentative but warm. Liam stopped in front of him, searching for the right words. I talked to Daniel, he said. His voice steady despite the storm inside him. We both agreed it was time to let go. Ethan's expression softened, and for a moment, he seemed unsure of what to say. That must have been hard. It was, Liam admitted. But I realized I couldn't keep living half a life. And I couldn't keep running from what I feel. The words hung between them, heavy with meaning. Ethan took a step closer, his voice barely above a whisper. And what do you feel, Liam? Liam looked into Ethan's eyes, the warmth and understanding he'd come to cherish radiating from them. That you make me feel alive. Like I'm finally being seen for who I am. Ethan exhaled slowly, a smile tugging at his lips. I've been waiting to hear you say that. The moment was interrupted by the sound of weights clanging nearby, grounding them back to reality. Liam chuckled softly, the tension easing from his shoulders. What now? Ethan asked, his tone cautious but hopeful. We take it one step at a time, Liam said. I'm not sure what the future looks like, but I know I want to figure it out, with you. Ethan nodded, his smile widening. I can work with that. They spent the next hour talking, no training involved. For the first time, their conversations weren't clouded by unspoken feelings or boundaries they couldn't cross. Liam shared more about his life with Daniel, the good times and the moments where things had started to fall apart. Ethan, in turn, opened up about his own struggles with love and the fear of getting too close. By the time they left the gym, the sun was setting, casting a golden glow over the city. Liam and Ethan walked side by side, their steps unhurried, their silence comfortable. As they reached the parking lot, Ethan stopped, turning to face Liam. You know, I'm not perfect. I've got my own baggage. Liam smiled, a sense of peace settling over him. I'm not looking for perfect. I'm just looking for real. For the first time in years, Liam felt like he was stepping into the unknown, not with fear but with hope.